Hi everyone, my name is Rosalind. It's a great privilege for me to share about what God has done for me today. So today I'm going to share God is faithful and He is my rock so that I'm unshakable. I was born with a bone disorder and fractured my leg over 20 times throughout childhood. Because of my condition, I was rejected by the elementary school because there was no disabled accessibility for me during that time. I was homeschooled most of the time until junior high. My family is very protective of me and loving toward me, and at the same time in many ways. I have always been a very happy girl since I was a baby. I see myself just like everyone else and like to make sure I have the right to do things on my own. Even though I was not allowed to go outside, not even to a movie, and I had no friends around until high school, I feel that I'm very blessed. God was gracious to grant me an opportunity to have a successful surgery on my leg at 10 years old in Stanford, California. After the surgery, I was able to stand and learn to walk with crutches. The medical experience opened up my mind and eyes, and I realized I can do more things. I have longed for an independent life. I set this as my goal to apply for college and complete graduate school in the U.S. I enjoyed college life and started having dreams for my future. Most people around me have liked to advise me what to do and not to do because I'm prone to getting fractures. I try to work hard on exercising and schoolwork. I knew I could earn independence if I trained my bones to be strong and healthy. I believed hard work could accomplish anything. My pride usually took over whenever anyone wanted to label me as disabled. In my first semester of graduate school in 1998, I found God and became a Christian. I used to compare myself to others and compete. Frustrations got to me whenever I failed. As I walked with God, I gradually learned to accept who I am and started going at my own pace to do what He calls me to do, knowing that God believes in me more than I do. The joy and power of God has allowed me to recover from frustrations. Even when I got fractures again, which has happened a few times during my work, I learned to enjoy and praise God in stillness, knowing He is the Lord. When I recovered, I cherished my time and health even more. James chapter 1 says, "Consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know what the testing of your faith produces perseverance. Let perseverance finish its work, so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything. Every good and perfect gift is from above, coming down from the Father of the heavenly lights, who does not change like shifting shadows. He chose to give us birth through the word of truth, that we might be a kind of first fruit of all He created. God has transformed me into a new person, that I should have nothing to fear. With God, it is possible to stand strong no matter what happens in my life. What I like about believing in God is I don't need to rely on myself and argue with my family, because when I'm fearful, I know there is someone higher there to protect me other than my parents. Over 18 years, Jesus has built in me an unshakable faith. First, God gives me peace when I'm anxious. Philippians 4 says, "Tell God what you need and thank Him for all He has done, and you will experience His peace, the peace that passes all understanding." Secondly, God gives me power when I'm weak. Many times I have pleaded God to take away the thorn in my body. I know God is more impressed when I admit my weakness and turn to Him for His strength. Philippians 4 says, "I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength." Third, God gives me protection when I'm afraid. There have been times I have been afraid, but I have learned to turn to the Lord for protection. Sometimes people like to remind me that I have to be careful. Their advice for me is usually not to do anything just to be safe. This was especially the case when I decided to learn to drive before going to college. My family worried careless drivers might hit me no matter how careful I was. After driving 10 years, I was involved in a major car accident in LA. There were cars illegally racing on the freeway. One car cut in front of me, and the next second I got hit by another car that was racing high speed. My car was spinning, and all the airbags were deployed. I cried terrified tears as the car filled with smoke, knowing I might get hurt or die at any moment. Within a few seconds, I started praying to God to help me. The car stopped miraculously on the shoulder of the freeway. The car was destroyed, but I was not hurt at all. Lastly, God gave me a plan when I'm uncertain. Sometimes I don't know what God's plan for my life is. I didn't like it when He brought me back to Taiwan 10 years ago. I was fearful to come back and didn't want to be confined again. I missed my independent life, all my friends, and church family in the U.S. I didn't know if I could find any job in Taiwan. I also didn't know if I could drive here. Everything was uncertain. The scripture in Jeremiah kept me strong in spirit. It says, "For I know the plans I have for you, says the Lord. There are plans for good and not for evil. I will give you a hope and future." God is faithful in His promises. I found my desired job in 8 months after I moved back. I have loved my research work and being involved in the disabled community to change the laws in healthcare regulation. Looking back, I see God prepare me in the U.S., equip me with His strength, and send me back for a purpose. Even now, I still have to constantly ask God, pray, and search scriptures. God has led me in His faith and helped me focus on what is right in His eyes. He has prepared me with His faith, not my own faith. One last scripture, which is one of my favorites, 2 Corinthians 12. "My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. Therefore I will boast all the more gladly about my weaknesses, so that Christ's power may rest on me. That is why for Christ's sake I delight in weaknesses, insult, in hardships, in persecutions, in difficulties. For when I am weak, then I am strong." Thank you.